Okay, so in today's update about QNT, we are going to check out a possible bullish pattern that could be happening in this area, indicating that soon we may see a move on the upside. And I'm going to tell you what you need to see in QNT's price chart in the short term in order to be able to say with a bit of confidence that we are maybe going to do something like this. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And first things first, if you are interested in classic patterns, personally, I'm not really a big fan of them, but if you are interested, you can't really help but think maybe we are having in here a triangle structure. This is the upper line and this is going to be our lower line. Now, this is a very important point. At the moment, this triangle is not confirmed yet. When will it get confirmed? When we get a move up in quant in order to break the upper line, pull back, and then a continuation in order to take this high. At that point, what's the target going to be? Sorry about that one. We need to first put the chart on regular scale and measure the height of our pattern from here to about, let's say, this point. And let's put this one as our breaking point. That will give you about, let's say, like an $88, $89 quant in minimum. So again, if you are interested in classic patterns, I think you can consider this possibility of having a triangle structure. Now, in terms of Elliott's waves, according to the bullish scenario, off of the lowest low, we may have 5 wave up to about this point into a wave 1, followed by that probably from here to about this low, a correction for wave 2, and at the moment we might be on our way to build a fantastic bullish setup into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And in the short term, let's actually go on 30-minute time frame so you can see the waves a bit better. You see, I do believe that maybe in QNT from here to about this point we are having a wave 1 and then correction for wave 2. And if this scenario is happening, we need to see a decent move up, a very strong one in quant ASAP into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And if we see it, okay, you know what, at that point I am going to be just a bit more optimistic in QNT. Now, the question is, what really needs to happen in quant in order for me to talk bullish with a lot more confidence? First things first, you probably know what I'm about to say. In terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, I need to see quant getting back above this important support and then some consolidation above it, and followed by that another move up. I need to see this structure happen and QNT having a move up with absolute authority. If I see this, that could be a great sign. Now, do we have in terms of indicators some signs suggesting that maybe something like that is going to happen? And can we have in here kind of an early signal? I think so, yes. Let's just zoom in more in here and see what is going on. Let's actually go on H4 time frame. Okay, sorry about that. There we go. So what do we have in this area? This is a high. The other one is a higher high. Now let's check out MACD and let's just zoom in. Okay, what do we have in here? This is a high. The other one is a lower high. So you probably know what I'm gonna say. This is a bearish divergence in quant. Now, a bearish divergence naturally by itself is going to be a negative sign, indicating that we are going to have a move down. But why did I say, can we have an early bullish signal? Because sure, this is a negative sign and we can have a move down. However, if you see in MACD, in H4 time frame, QNT getting a break of the divergence line, at that point we are going to say that this negative divergence is not going to work, and instead we are going to have a relatively strong move on the upside in QNT. And I think before we get that move up, you may see in here some sort of an early signal. That's why I want to say in QNT, if we are going to have a very strong move on the upside, you might see the early signals of it in MACD. And at the same time, if we manage to get a break of the upper line of this triangle, that could be an excellent sign suggesting that we may see some strong price action soon. So for now, all eyes should be at the moment on this important classic pattern and also what we are having in MACD and let's hope that we are going to get a break of this divergence line in H4 time frame, which will be at that point a great sign. Does this mean in Quant we are going to absolutely outperform Bitcoin? I think we need to now check out QNT's chart versus BTC, and I think it was this one. Okay, so as you can see, despite the recent move up in Bitcoin, this chart is going down, which means we are still kind of underperforming in QNT relative to BTC, and I do kind of expect this to continue a bit more. So this means if you see, for example, a 20-30% move up in Bitcoin, in QNT, you may see a 10-20% move up. On the other hand, on the downside, if you see a 10% move down in Bitcoin, you may see like a 20-30% move on the downside in QNT. So for now, I think we might be in a period of time which Quant is going to kind of underperform Bitcoin, but this doesn't mean that we can't go up. And in fact, the recent price action is a very clear example. This chart is going down, but in Quant and Bitcoin, we are seeing some moves on the upside. Now, if the bullish scenario in here is in play, I think we talked about it in the previous update. From this point to about here, or maybe even here, I would say potentially here, we can consider a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in form of a wedge into a wave 1, and this is a correction for wave 2. And after this move down in the short term is over, we can get another move up into wave 3, 4, 5. But for now, I'm not really considering this thing as my primary case. I need to see some strong price action coming in and some strong moves on the upside in this chart in order for me to talk about this scenario with a bit more confidence. For now, I think we need to be a bit patient, and also the fact that the recent move up in Bitcoin was caused by Dow Jones, and that was caused by the recent news about the administration taking kind of a measured and targeted stance on tariffs, to me says that this move is mainly caused by the news. So you may see in the next week or two a move down in Dow Jones, and what is that going to do to the crypto market? Maybe we are going to have another move down. But for now, let's not talk about that kind of scenarios. Let's focus on the short term and see what is happening in this area. And I'm telling you right now, if we do see a break of the divergence in H4 time frame in MACD, we can be optimistic about the short-term price action in Quant, and hopefully at that point we are going to see like a 10 to potentially even 20% move on the upside. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in QNT's price charts. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.